You don't know the basics.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that decorum is being taught, like these like manners, like how you just said
It's
that you
not.
learned that growing up. I was raised by my mom, and my stepdad, and that was something my stepdad taught me, like how you take your napkin and place it over your lap, how you have one hand on your lap and the other hand on the table, and you don't put an elbow on the table. How after you finish, you cross your foot. Like I learned those things, and I still do it to this day at my big
I could
age.
take Nate out on a date. I order. I could hear her now. You ain't ordering for me. You don't got to order for me. I'm a council member.
I would not do that. I just went out with my family for my son's graduation, and my stepdad ordered for the table. And I sat there and I was like, because I'm used to that. If you order for me, I'm not gonna be like, I can do it myself. No, I automatically expect it. No, I probably would order something that's more expensive only because I want to eat it. And I'm not looking at you automatically to pay for it, right? I'm gonna also make sure that if you don't have it, I got it. If you don't, but that's just me. Not everybody thinks like that.
But Nate, think about this, right?
Hmm.
There are should be proper and certain expectations. If your mindset is fuck it, let's go Dutch. I'm prepared. What is the disposition of said person?
I don't think that you automatically go into it saying let's go Dutch, but and maybe for me in dating, I've actually had people that looked at me like, "Oh, you could probably pay for it," and maybe it's who I was choosing. I don't know, but that's happened to me, and I've actually had end up having to pay my own food. Or I paid for me and somebody else. And I'm like, yeah. So I always make sure to have it myself, just in case, right? But I also do kind of do like a modest, like I'm not gonna say I'm gonna automatically order steak and shrimp, and I'm not doing that. I might order a steak, but I'm not gonna add the lobster tail and the shrimp. I'm not gonna do that.
Do
But
you,
I automatically had it in my head.
Callie?
Now, see,
Okay,
here's where it gets twisted for me, though,
because
right?
you protecting
So
yourself. I understand. Go ahead, Callie.
I was gonna say, here's where it gets twisted for me, right?
Sure.
Okay, so I feel you on the ordering the extraordinary things, right? I
Hmm.
definitely feel you on that.
Hmm.
Um, on the putting that aside, right? From my understanding, we were taught you don't leave the house without no money on some stuff like just in case what Nay said, right? You don't leave the house without no money. You don't leave the house potentially being stuck like Chuck. On the other hand, now putting aside the ordering extraordinary things and everything, now these chicks is out here going outside without no daggone money.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so I feel if it's wrong to leave with some just in case money in your pocket, and it's right to go on ahead and have the expectation for the guy to pay for your food. I guess the linchpin is that you ordering lobster instead of ordering a burger. I mean, I don't like
No,
where's the even ground here?
I don't really think it's about that. I think it's
The
more
middle
so
ground, I should say. Sorry.
the principle of the man treating you to a date and then you going overboard. I think that's more so the principle, not like, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
you should have emergency cash. Like, we grown. Like, you shouldn't be leaving the house without, you just never know what can happen. I understand that part. And of course, I agree with that part. But understanding we're on a date and then expecting this man to pay and then ordering everything on the menu, and kind of being rude during your meal, that's the whole, I think, point of it. And that's what we're saying is happening more so than not, as opposed to like the
So
pain and the Dutch thing, because we're about to go down that road.
so
Well,
do
we
you
don't
think
have.
also it depends on when they're asked. First of all, they're asking you out. You're gonna expect that they're gonna pay, right? But it also probably depends on where you're going. Like if you're saying I'm going to Fleming's, I know how much Fleming's costs because I've been. If you're
Ooh,
going to Fleming's
what's that?
versus I'm going to Roof Chris versus Capital Grill versus Applebee's, you kind of know like roughly what you're gonna be paying automatically. So just for me, I would probably feel like okay, if they're asking, they have it. But you just never know. So you also, to Callie's point, you want to also have your own just in case. You can order the least expensive steak. I think like a steak started like $55, and that's just the steak. That is not the sides at a la carte. So you just want to make sure you also have it as well. But you're not gonna be like, I'm gonna order a steak and shrimp and a lobster tail. You're not gonna do that. At least I wouldn't.
Let me ask
So what-
y'all a question, man. Um, yeah, I mean, we can go back to that, but I just want to get this question. Do you think that women of today are seen as nurturers?
No.
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't say we are seen as nurturers now.
Here's the interesting part. If Krishana were to use bad words, which she doesn't, she would have said hell no, I think. But she doesn't use bad words. Callie,
So
why
you
you got
said-
that? Why you got somebody farted in the room? Why you got that stink face, Callie?
So when you're saying, okay, the women of today are not seen that way, does that are you automatically saying that they are not that, or they're just not seen as though they are? Because just because somebody else doesn't view you as that doesn't mean that you're not.
We are not that. We are not that.
Tay saying
I think.
we are not that. Go ahead, Tay.
No, I was just saying. I think that's my opinion. So what y'all think? Y'all think we are nurturers? Does it look like we're nurturers? Is that the image Black women are portraying? I don't see it.
Yeah, I mean, based off of what all the men are saying, even what Hamp just said to me, and I'm just like back here kind of listening because I'm like, okay, I never knew that certain things were not decorum based off of like a man asking, or saying like, you can get whatever you want or whatever, don't worry about this, don't worry about that. And it's like, I don't know. For me, I'm like, I never thought like, oh, I got to bring money with me to that. Obviously been taught, don't put your elbows on the table, all those regular things. But it was never that like, oh, I have to always make sure I'm fending for myself, or, even though he offers this, don't do this. So it's like, okay, but then, the men come back and they're like, yeah, she doesn't, she don't do this, she don't cook, she don't, and I'm like, if that's what they're seeing, it's hard for me to say, yeah, no, we are nurturers because I can say, oh, well, I do this and I do that. But based off of what the men are saying, we don't look like nurturers.
What y'all think, man? This was the end. That's what I said. We kind of I can work it back to what we would, the premise, but it's just like, are we really self-aware? How we come off, how we come across? Like, do the men know that most women don't see them with like the leadership and physical prowess? Do most men know that? Do most men know that they aren't revered? Do the men know that?
I'm sure that they do. I'm sure that the men, because the majority of women today don't show nurturing. It overshadows the minimal that do.
And to piggyback up off of that, because we're in the era of the strong, independent Black woman, so that's why men don't usually see that.
Damn. The era of the strong, independent Black woman.
To die.
Although you can still be
era.
that and have a nurture to you, but
It's
yeah,
a 50-year
automatically.
era.
Say again.
I said, this is a long ass era. This is a 50-year era. At least.
It's over. It needs to be
Strong.
But you could still be that and still have nurture
Uh-uh.
in you. It's just not always
Yes,
shown.
you absolutely can.
How?
Mhm.
And I think that's what's not demonstrated enough. Being a strong Black woman or being a strong woman in general. I think that there are women out there who think, if they demonstrate being strong, and then also demonstrate being nurturing, that they are weakening themselves, but you actually are not. When you demonstrate both of those.
Mhm.
I don't know. I think, okay. So to me, the strength comes in leaning into what comes natural to us, which is being nurturing. I find it that we are stronger in those things because that's what we're built for. That's what we were made for. That is what our role is supposed to be.
Right.
So to me, I feel stronger as a nurturer. I don't feel strong being the Black independent woman
Right.
because that's my situation, right? Like I don't want to be the Black independent woman. I don't want that. That's my situation. So that, and I'm an adult, right? I have to manage my life until the right one comes along, right? But I just feel like we're looking at it wrong, and our depiction of strength is twisted because
Yeah.
it's like why do we constantly complain about being the strong independent black woman, but we want to be it so bad. Nobody wants that. Like, it sounds good in theory, but then when you put the pedal to the metal, we're breaking down, right? So I just feel like being stronger and where you're meant to be is the best thing for everybody, not just us. It's a selfish thing to think, oh, I'm just going to be independent. What, until you die? And then what? You're
Right.
going to die independent.
It's a
So,
seasonal type thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no one wants
Yes,
to be that. Yeah.
Right. You'll be a,
y-
independent. There will be points in your life where you're going to have to be strong and be independent, but that doesn't actually have to be your whole entire life.
Yeah. What was it
exactly. So just
that you
because
said, Callie? You did like something about when you're being strong and you have your money together, like when you're going out on a date or something. It was a term that you used or like a phrase you said. But we're taught that like you come out and you have like I got this. I'm independent, whether you got it or not. Like I take care of me. But it was something like a phrase that you said to
oh,
depict that.
I don't remember. But yeah,
Like,
that
right?
shit
That's
is out of necessity.
yeah.
Like, what are we talking about? You have to
How?
be a strong person in order to live and endure this bullshit that's coming at your daggone face.
Like what?
I'm sorry.
Uh,
And you're gonna die independent too if you ain't attached to nobody else.
Well,
It is what it is. You have to have that skill. Hey yo,
Balance.
I
It's
ain't in
called
this
balance.
fantasy bullshit where you just think that, oh, just because I got a nigga that now everything's gonna be okay.
No.
No, it's not. And you're gonna have to endure some shit and you're gonna have to be strong while doing it.
Seasons. You mentioned
Period.
something about that. You mentioned
Mm-hmm.
something about their seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Their different periods. So yeah.
Right.
well,
but
So
that
just because I am strong and I have the ability to be independent does not mean it's not an either or thing. It's a this shit is gonna kick in when it has to.
like
Mm-hmm.
what?
Yeah, I
What's
am
I,
strong and I have the ability to be independent.
how? Wait, what
the,
is this? What does this all mean?
the
You're
strength
looking.
I
Well,
think can come
this.
off.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. The strength can come off, I believe sometimes is, I hate to say I believe because I know how Hamp feels about that, but I think that the strength comes off as like a masculine trait because we're strong in moments we don't need to be.
Oh my girl. I'm glad
Who
you
said
brought
we
that up.
don't?
I'm like, what is it? What
I,
does that
I think
even
that's what
mean?
happens. What you say?
I'm glad you said it because I'm like, what is it? I hate when people say, oh, she's too masculine. What does that even effing mean? Like, what?
Well, to a
Not you. I'm not
man,
saying I'm mad.
obviously
You're saying
certain
that, but
things. No, I understand what you mean. To a man, having a conversation with a man, how we can um come off aggressive, basically what they're talking about. How we can come off aggressive as far as like tone, how they talk about tone matters. They talk about it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Even like the cursing, depending obviously on the guy, but even like the cursing can be off-putting to a
mm-hmm.
guy that, might be attracted to you. So it just the strength can come off in ways that can be off-putting to men or turn them off from us
What
when we
makes
think that it's nothing wrong with it.
yo Becca? What's the string?
Yeah, give me the ability to relax and I'll relax.
What's the
Other
strong
than
thing?
that, if it ain't there, it ain't happening.
What is this
The
strong
strength,
thing that you guys keep conversing about?
the strength that I'm, and I could be wrong opposed to what they're thinking is just like having the confidence, being able to move as a mother, move as help me, and obviously we have careers. Most of us have careers if we're not staying at home. So moving in our jobs,
Mm-hmm.
um, and just being able to maneuver life, knowing that we can do those things confidently.
Ugh,
But as far as when it comes to maybe a discourse or a disagreement with our spouse,
ugh.
then it can come off like we're trying to rule them or we're trying to win against them.
I think that's called being assertive. There's nothing wrong being assertive. You should be
Yo,
able to assert yourself.
here's the thing. This is not strength that you guys are conveying.
Being a
This is
mother and being
this
a
is
career
a.
woman isn't a
I'm
strength.
just listening to what you guys just said. Now you add other stuff. You can add it
But
after.
she said that. You said being a mother and having careers and everything, that's a certain type of strength. That's multitasking.
You are adulting.
You're
Yeah.
carrying various loads.
Hold on. Wait. You saying that you're doing what the majority of black women are doing, and now everybody's strong? No, that's the status quo. And then how do you measure the strength? What did the strength? What was the outcome? How are we doing as a whole? What does the community look like? What's the manifestation of all this strength? If we had a place full of strong people, the results would mirror that. But they're actually the opposite. Are we using strength incorrectly? Endurance, I can agree. Just don't die, nigga. That's what, just don't die. We are good at enduring and surviving.
But you don't feel like being endurant is a strength?
Endurance, I think it's a good trait, right? But it's not a prevailing thing, you know? Like endurance needs to be coupled with different things for you to prevail, right? For you to be successful. There's one thing to get through it, and then there's one thing to get through it well.